Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. We begin in the name of Allah, and peace and blessing upon His last and final messenger, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, if you don't know what we're talking about yet today, and you didn't look at the program or didn't look at the board up here, basically now we're moving on to the third chapter of this book, which is titled Duties of Brotherhood in Islam by Imam al-Ghazali. And can anyone tell me what it says up here? What's the third duty as a Muslim?
Holding one's tongue.
Holding one's tongue. Holding one's tongue. Can anyone tell me what they think? I mean, it's pretty obvious. But what does that mean to us as Muslims? What does holding one's tongue account for? What does it include? Why don't we start here on the right?
Making sure your brother doesn't fall.
Making sure
Your brother doesn't fall.
your brother doesn't fall. Okay? Making sure your brother doesn't fall. How does that incorporate an aspect of the tongue? Go ahead.
He doesn't curse or talk bad about anyone.
Okay, good. So he doesn't curse, right? He has character and conduct. He knows how to conduct himself, right? When he's speaking, he doesn't use language that is inappropriate or offensive to the brothers around him. Good. What'd you say, Zishan?
I'll say backbiting.
Okay, backbiting. There's the huge one that we always talk about, right? How a lot of times, right, we ourselves or our brothers around us misuse our tongues and end up offending brothers around us by saying things that they wouldn't want us to say, or by saying things that aren't even true altogether. Good. What else? What's the importance of Islam? Maybe can someone give me maybe a hadith or something that the Prophet ﷺ or one of the companions said regarding the tongue? Faisal.
Well, for one thing, the Prophet said that the number one reason why people enter the hellfire is because of their tongues.
Boom. Huge one. Everyone hear that? Qaisar said that the Prophet ﷺ said that the number one reason why people would be thrown into the hellfire was because of this. Because of their tongue. Because they didn't watch what they were saying. Because they were respectful or mindful of the fact that every letter that I use or every word that comes out of my mouth is something that I will be held accountable for on the Day of Judgment. What else? Anything else? Anything else you think of that comes to my mind? As far as hadith or something that the companions said? Go ahead, Yusuf. I'll give you a second. Water break. Go ahead, can you? Okay, talking back to your parents. Okay, good. A good one. Another one that we use that a lot of times we fall victim to, right? Hey, mom or dad tells us to do one thing, we do the opposite, right? Or we say, Mom, Dad, all you want to do is control my life, right? You don't know me. You don't know how it feels to be, a youth in America kind of thing, right? And we a lot of times offend or insult our parents. A lot of times even unwillingly. And these are things that we need to really, really take into account. But what about something else? There's one that I'm kind of looking for. Dave.
Is it the one where you can control what's between your teeth and what's between your legs and you have to them?
Good. I know probably a lot of you guys didn't hear that, but Dean said, the Prophet ﷺ said that if you can control what is between your two lips and what is between your lower region, your two legs, he said that Jannah, you will be guaranteed Jannah, or you will enter Jannah, inshallah. So think about that, guys. So Qaisar said, first of all, right, that the first thing, or the thing that will be the major reason why most people will enter Jahannam, right, or hellfire, is because of their tongue. And then he spelled it out even furthermore, and said that if you can control your tongue, and you can control what's between your legs, right, then you are going to be guaranteed Jannah, inshallah. What else, Qaisar?
I can't remember the exact words, but I believe there's a hadith that says a believer is a person who another believer who doesn't have to worry about taking harm from their hands or their tongue.
Okay. A believer? Someone?
A believer is a person who, no other believer has to worry about taking harm from either their hands or their tongue.
Okay, good. So Qaisar said, for those who didn't hear, a believer is someone that Another person or another brother doesn't have to worry about getting harmed by either their hands or their tongue. Meaning they don't have to worry about them slandering them, backbiting them while they're not in their presence, right? Or when they're, somewhere else. They don't have to worry about someone offending them or physically hurting them. That is what a believer is. Good, alhamdulillah. I didn't even know that hadith. So jazakallah khair for that. But this goes back to, and this is kind of where I want to get us started today. Okay? And that is on the aspect of trust. And Imam al-Ghazali, in writing this chapter about holding the tongue, he starts off by showing how, or stating how, trust is key to any relationship that includes brotherhood. Why might that be? It's very simple, but give me some reasons. Give me some reasons. You personally, how do you feel? If you don't trust someone, what happens? Are you comfortable with them? Can someone paint me a scenario? Go ahead. Okay, you're paranoid. Okay? In what respect? Okay? Okay, so if you don't trust them, and they start using, some language they shouldn't be using, you may think it may be directed to you. Okay? What else? What else? If you don't trust someone, or let's say you do trust someone, how does that change your relationship? Simple, right? Go ahead, G.
You're gonna be more open to them, come to them for help, be more interactive with them as a brother.
Okay, awesome. So if you can trust someone, then you know that you can go to that brother when you need help, right? When you have a problem and you don't know the answer to your problem. And that's perfectly fine. A lot of times we don't know the answer to our problems or the situations we may face, right? Whether it's at school, whether it's girls, whether it's drugs, whether it's whatever it may be. We all know that problems are out there and we all have them, right? But if you have a brother that you know you can trust, you can go to that brother for help in any of those things. You know that's someone that's not going to judge you and say, dude, man, you do that kind of stuff? Man, get out of here. You can't be one of my friends. I can't be associated with you. Get out of here, right? No one likes someone like that. No one likes that. No one likes to feel excluded or, feel that they are, just this terrible person. The whole reason this concept of brotherhood exists in Islam is that so we can help one another. Like Zishan said yesterday, I believe it was Zishan or Arif. They said that, believers or brothers are like a pair of hands. Someone refresh for our memory. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, what did I believe it was Arif. What did he say? What is that? How does that comparison or how does that analogy work? They're like a pair of hands. In what respect? No, besides G. Who else remembers? Go ahead, respond.
Brothers are like hairs and hands. They both wash each other.
Okay, so they both wash each other, right? If you tried washing yourself or washing your hands, you tried washing your other hand, or just if you had one hand, right? We'll start there. If you had one hand, can you imagine how you wash your hand? It just doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. It's like trying to, I know some people do that one-handed clap kind of thing, right? It's difficult. You can try to do it, but it's not nearly as effective as two hands, right? Alright, see, you guys got the point, right? You can try clapping with one hand later, right? But you see, you get the point, right? It's a very clear picture. It's very difficult to do that without the other hand. It's very difficult to wash your hands without the other hand. Likewise, it's very difficult to purify yourself, to really understand yourself without a brother. Why might that be? Why might that be? Someone tell me.
You can't see your faults.
Okay. A lot of times you can't see your faults. And if you can see your faults, what else might happen?
You start to realize.
Someone in this corner. Go ahead, you want to give it a shot? Let's say you do see your faults, right? Why do you need another brother then? Why do I need a brother to tell me, or what can a brother do in that situation that may help me? Let's say I know I have my faults, but someone else maybe? Can you help them? Faizan in the back? Anything? Okay, they can help you fix them. Not only that, but think about it. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? A lot of times we ourselves have faults, and do we admit them?
No.
No, right? Like, someone may come up to you and be like, yo man, you're an arrogant person, And hopefully they don't come to you like that, just say it to your face, man, you're arrogant, right? Hopefully they'll tell you it in a better way, but a lot of times someone might hint to you, right? Hey, you might want to go about this in a different way, right? It doesn't seem like the best way to do what you're doing, right? And you might think like,